So, growing up, did you have gel pens like I did? Because when I was in high school, I had so many gel pens. I mean, so many gel pens. And these are all leftover from when I was in high school. They're like 10-year-old gel pens. And I thought, it would be a great idea if I drained them all and turned them into art. So I decided to make 4 illustrations, all bird based, because I needed to do something simple and easy and that I could draw quickly. So I decided to go with birds. It's what I draw the most nowadays. And that way, too, I could pick simple colors to go with them because I wasn't going to use each individual gel pen as its own color. I was going to combine them. So I started out with a couple chickens, a duck, and a pair of quail, which I thought was pretty great. And I decided to use this toned paper that I had because see that again? Yeah, there goes my pen cap. Let me go get that. In any case, I decided to use this toned paper because I thought that would the gel pen would look like good against a darker colored paper, and I didn't have any black paper, so I didn't want to waste a bunch of time painting pages with ink. So I had this actually like sample of toned Strathmore watercolor paper on the top of my watercolor block, like pad of paper. So I pulled that off and I cut it down to 4 of these little postcard sized pages to do these illustrations on. I wasn't too precious with them. I knew that this might not work whatsoever, so I didn't want to put a whole lot of work into the designs. I just thought, some cute chickens, some birds, it'll be great. And I didn't even like erase the pencil lines because I wasn't sure how that would work. And then I took these little dressing and sauce containers that I got from the Good Food boxes I've gotten in the past, and we have these little tiny containers, and usually I use them to bring salad dressing to work, stuff like that, but these ones are really small, we don't use them, and in order to do this, I had to pull the nibs out of the front of the pen, and then blow the ink out into the bottle. So what you don't see out of frame is me going as I try to blow the ink out of these different little gel pens. It was interesting, I'll say that. So yeah, I combined all of my blues for this first one, and I found mixing it was really hard. This stuff is super goopy, like super goopy and sticky. And I mean, I get why. It's the design of the ink so that it works with pens, with a roller pen, so that the little ball can kind of keep pulling it forward. If it's sticky, it'll like adhere to itself. But all these gel pens, because they were so old, they wouldn't work. Like the ink was still inside was still good, but I think it had dried out just enough or evaporated enough moisture that they weren't working. I couldn't get the roller ball to work. The handful in the very beginning that still have the caps and the pen cases, barrels on, those were the only ones left that worked of like a 50 set of gel pens. They've literally been sitting in my drawer for like a decade. So yeah, I mixed all my blues together. I had glittery ones, I had opaque ones, mostly glittery ones, and it was something kind of weird that I noticed while I would paint with them. This blue, it's not as noticeable with, but later on when you see I do with any of the metallic specific ones, there's one that's like a bunch of golds that I mixed together. It's something that they must have added to make a metallic shine, one ingredient, that would like dry down different than the rest of them. It's very weird. But the blue one, it was pretty consistent. And I would say painting with it is kind of like the same process you would with painting with acrylic. Again, though, it's very goopy and like sticky. So it's like crappy quality acrylics. But I decided once I started working with it, I realized I was like, I'm not going to be able to blend with this. I don't have the skills. So I was like, I'm just going to do everything in nice little simple flat layers and then just make it about the shapes and the colors differences. So, and then yeah, blowing out more gel pen ink. Also, if you hear little like metallic knocking noises in the background, I have a pair of hens that are living in the house right now, in my studio specifically, in a dog crate, because we had a bobcat attack and 2 of my hens have been injured as a result of it, so they're staying inside where they're safe and can be calm and quiet while they heal up. And Lottie is repeatedly pecking the side of the dog crate, so there's that. In any case, that's what that noise is. So here I basically separated them out in all of my blues, all of my greens, all of my purples, all of my pinks, Oranges and yellows I put together. Golds I put together. These were all my like reds and like rusty browns, and they were very shiny. It was hard to like show that here. I was trying to show you how like glittery and shiny the stuff is. And then I did all of my, I think actually that was all the colors: greens, blues, pinks, purples, golds, rusts and browns, yellows and yeah. In any case, you'll see it's not a whole lot of colors. And yeah, so here I am just pulling out those nibs. These are all the goldy orange colors that I use for the duck here in a sec. And there were a few that I ended up still having to throw out after I got them apart because just the gel was so dry inside I couldn't actually get it to come out of the tube. So I mean, it was an interesting way to use up a bunch of old materials, and I was just trying to make a little, I mean, still the pens are going to waste, like the majority of it, except for the ink is going to waste, but I don't know, I like to not waste stuff, so I thought this was a fun experiment to try and use up all these old crappy gel pens. And yeah, so there's this nice like gold, orangey gold color that I got from some of them that I mixed. I didn't have quite enough different, like really different colors to mix into really obvious ones, so that's why I tried to do like these golds I mixed in any metallic oranges with as well, just to kind of brighten it up, because I knew I had a bunch of like bronzy colors for the quail and I just didn't want them all to look the same. I also noticed very quickly using this stuff that it's thick enough and opaque enough that you can't see any line work underneath, so I was really glad I didn't try to put a bunch of detail in, because as soon as I went over top it just covered up anything I'd put inside, which also meant I was able to fix weird little like errors as I went, where I maybe went outside the lines too much. You know, did my best. And then I waited a full day for them to dry. A full day, and even now they're still like sticky. Like if you rub your finger on it, you will pick up glittery purple ink. It doesn't dry at all. It's dry enough to like, you know, put in a frame, I guess, but if you ever took it out of that, the glass would be covered in gel. So then yeah, here's my pinks. I went back in, and basically once I realized how it was acting, I was like, nope, I'm definitely just have to stick to like a couple elements, try not to put too much detail on them. It's just not gonna work very well. It's not completely dry. I'll just be smudging stuff and accidentally mixing things. So this purple one actually is my favorite, because I just decided to do this really simple little like broken circle-y background thing, and it worked really well, and I don't know, I really liked it, so I think this one's my favorite one. Also lately been making TikToks. I'm 32. I'm not used to it. And on top of that, I'm not really used to how to edit for YouTube, and I only have my phone as a camera right now. I haven't been able to afford to invest in like a proper camera to record stuff with. So I was trying to make TikTok clips at the same time as I drew this, so if you're noticing steps are missing, it's because I changed my camera's orientation to record vertically for TikTok. And I mean, if you want to follow my TikTok, it's basically going to be like speed paints and things like that. Or like, I did post a video of working on some chicken swatches, because it's not interesting enough to make a video of, but it's fun and I like to do it. So yeah, you can just find me the same way you find me anywhere. Just search Magia and you'll find me. So here I'm going in with like another tone of like gold colors that I mixed. And this one I had a lot more coppers, and I think some like not reds but like rusty colors mixed in, so that turned out less golden than the one for the duck, so that worked out well. But you can see in the center around the eggs that weird like silver metallic sheen thing that happens, and it seems to be it's an ingredient I think that's mixed in with the metallic ones to make them look metallic when they dry down, which probably on a skinny inked line, like when you're writing with it, looks perfectly normal. But in this case, and it was a big block of it, it kind of made the ink almost look patchy, which it wasn't. It's all the same ink, and it was very thickly laid down, but it was a very weird effect. And I also was trying to do this like neat little, like I wanted to look like a nest, so I was trying to do this like little roughed out edge around it, and it worked. But because everything was so goopy and sticky, it was hard to do that like little like dry brush edge technique without it all sticking to each other and making a big mess. But again, this was just for fun, so if it didn't turn out, I wasn't upset. Also, all the pencil lines are staying on there because I really don't think I can erase them without picking up all of that gel pen ink and just dragging it across the page. So it's gonna be a little rough looking forever, and I'm fine with that. Yeah, so I went through, I got all these background elements done. I also had a handful of details I added in as well. This was the one that actually turned out this color here the least metallic because I had yellows, an opaque, just regular cream, I guess, if you're gonna go with nail polish terms, creme orange, and then I think maybe 2 metallic oranges that I mixed in with it as well, just to sort of give myself some more ink. And yeah, it was definitely like this is the one that probably looks the most like acrylic paint because it's just an opaque pale orange color. It's kind of nice. I don't love the background I did with the duck. I just thought like, oh, bubbles will be cute. I kind of wish looking back that I'd done like a big bubble behind it and then all the little bubbles coming off of it or something to kind of make it look like a, I don't know, like a little bubbly scene. But I did my best. And also the paintbrushes I was using for this, just fair warning, if you do try this yourself with a bunch of old metallic gel pens, the glitter in it is everywhere. It's on every surface. Anything that touched it, it's there. It's in my brushes forever. When I realized quickly that was what was happening, I switched to those cheap older brushes that I don't really use, and yeah, they're just caked in glitter now. And then I went in with my white jelly roller and I added some details because I figured this would be quick enough that I wouldn't end up smudging a bunch of stuff, and I could throw in some details. I tried going over with my like a black inking pen on one of them, and that didn't really work. But yeah, here they are all finished. Like I said, I think that purple and pink one is my favorite. But thanks. Bye! If you didn't know, I have a Patreon. If you want to join there, you can see works in progress, get early access to videos, join streams where you can get request doodles, and there's also a physical reward tier for stickers and a print. So head on over to patreon.com/Magia. I'd also like to take this moment to thank my current patrons. There is Charlotte Mitchell, So Spice, Audrey McAvoy, Olivia White, Sarah Flanagan, Philippa Riggs, Tasha Red Fox, Friday Norvell, Rory, Jessie Skrill, and Andrew Wilson. Thanks so much, guys.